We're in today with the 7800 GTX. This is a 2005 video card with 256 megabytes of VRAM, GDDR3 running at 490 megahertz on the core clock and 1300 megahertz on the memory clock. It's got 256 bits bus width, DirectX 9 support, and we're gonna pair it up with this Core 2 Extreme QX 6850 with 4 cores and 4 threads. We're gonna jump in a couple of games and gonna see how this legend of a video card is holding in a couple of older titles. Let's jump in. All right, so first game that I want to test is Need for Speed. It's gonna be very interesting to see this how the game is holding. I got 1024. Apparently, I can go higher resolution, but 1024 with maximum details. So I will say this is an adequate resolution in order to see how it's holding. You can actually see the core is reaching nearly 100%, 70-80%. I will say this is a decent performance because 68 degrees, 69, and I cannot just adjust the fan there. Wanna throttle that fan, but it doesn't work like that. It stays around 70 degrees. That's a decent performance on a thermal, you know, from this video card. And only 100 megabytes of VRAM it's utilized, and yeah, it's delivering nearly 100 FPS. The GPU is not at maximum, you know, so I will say the GPU is not very stressed, but it's doing a fantastic job. It looks great, it runs fantastic, need 100 FPS, good MS. And at the same time, the CPU it's almost being used properly. Seriously, because only a couple of cores are reaching maximum load. Doesn't matter. I like the performance. I like how it looks, and I definitely want to play the game like this. I think you can adjust it in such a way. Maybe put not maximum details, maybe higher details, and lock the FPS, and you get less stress on the core if you are interested in good thermals, because you see it's reaching 80 degrees soon. I have 1080p with low details. You can actually see that the game is starting. Seriously, I'm actually surprised how it's holding. I will say this is a good video card. Last time I was playing here, I barely managed to have 50 FPS, and now this video card it's like this. You know, imagine comparing this video card with the G100. Well, this one it's definitely working better than that G100. I'm actually surprised how well the video card is doing. Seriously, look at it. Over 100 FPS, 70 degrees. I mean, that temperature is kind of dodgy. I have to take a look on the thermals, you know, and see what's going on. But yeah, definitely the right game to play on a video card like this. How much? 83 megabytes of VRAM it's used. Only 83 megabytes of VRAM. That's how I need to say it. Only, you know, because apparently you can... Ideal would be to lower the resolution, I think, and increase the details. Who knows? The CPU has no problem. Only one core is being stressed in this situation, 70 degrees and 26% load. That's the only thing you can give me from this CPU. One single core. I'm disappointed, seriously. But it's doing the job. It's doing the job. I like the performance overall. Hellgate London is one of those games that needs to be put on a video card like this. So there is an option between resolution and quality if you want to balance them. If we are jumping into Fable with 1080p and low details, you can actually see that the game is running really nice and it's freaking awesome. Hundreds of FPS. I can actually put more details, seriously. But I didn't know that is working this well. Let's see, I'm just curious. It's not using the maximum VRAM, 73 degrees. I have to look on the thermal paste because it's the original thermal paste. Don't laugh. Don't judge me, yes? I just want to see how the GPU is performing. Look at this, it looks fantastic. Lights, details, it looks like Harry Plonker. Seriously, oh my god, this is so freaking awesome. The details are cool. I'm actually curious how much VRAM is going to buff inside this video card. Seriously, it's going to use the maximum VRAM. The core is now at maximum at the moment I put maximum details. I like how it looks. I like how it's performing. Seriously, on maximum details, 1080p. I'm very shocked. You know, I know it's an GTX video card, you know, that's the first giveaway that this game is gonna run really nice with that video card. But look at this, 140 megabytes of VRAM only used, under 80 degrees. I will say this is a good overall performance from this. This is exactly what you need to put on this video card. Not play games that works with low quality and low FPS, because I'm 100% sure you can play games that will look, how should I say, crap, and it will start, but it's not a good experience. A good experience will be to play with games like this, because look at this.
This is where the archers train. I prefer using my staff.
But it's working really nice in this game with 1080p. Seriously, look at this. This is kind of great. Maximum details, it's an option if you want, but I suggest lowering the resolution. In this case, you can actually see that on 1080p with low details, it's doing a fantastic job. Far Cry, it's working, you know. Like previous with Fable, I think it will end up with 70 FPS if I max it out, but I wanted to see how many FPS I can reach. Because on low details, this GPU gives you some very interesting numbers, you know. Imagine playing this game with a high refresh rate monitor. I mean, I love this idea, seriously, to play an old game with an old graphics card and putting on high-end refresh monitor. That will be very interesting to see, you know. Look at this. I mean, it's low quality, but if you put maximum details, I think you will have around 60-80 FPS like in Fable. But the question is, does it run Crysis? I got everything here on low details. Is it possible for this game to run? Seriously. 1080p with low details, I got like 20-30 FPS. I got like 36 ms. Not very, very convincing, you know. I think it needs lower resolution in this case. I mean, it's working. It feels very snappy, you know. I can't bash the video card because it's not doing the job. It's doing the job, and I think an overall performance it will be, I should say, better with a lower resolution. What do you think? 1024. Alright, with 1024 you can actually see like 40-50 FPS. I will say this is a adequate performance from a 7800 GTX in Crysis, you know. I will say this is a good performance. 150 megabytes of VRAM utilized, maximum core load, and 80 degrees. It's using the video card, seriously. Can I say make myself invisible? Yep, can make myself invisible. System itself is what, 71 degrees on the CPU, nearly 50% loaded. Every single core is being utilized here. You can actually see that it's doing a fantastic job. So this CPU is starting to, how should I say, I'm getting my money's worth with the CPU in this game, seriously. And yeah, on the system RAM, nearly 1.5 gig of system RAM being utilized in Crysis. So this game, it's utilizing the system. So if you're interested on playing some old titles with a video card like this, you have to lower the details and the resolution in order to get playable FPS. It's working. You got good MS, 12, 20 ms. I don't really like that number, but just in case, you know, just in case, starting from a point, you know, and then going up in the performance. Galaxy on Fire with 1080p and low details apparently is doing a fantastic job. Look at this. This is so great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my god, it looks so great. I mean, I'm not gonna play it like this with 1080p. Maybe I put it on 1024 or keep it like this and put some custom anti-aliasing and stuff like that if I lower the quality, the resolution. And I will keep it on low details because it feels very authentic, very retro with low resolution. With 1080p, it feels very newish, and I don't like. It's like it looks like a new old game at the same time. Even if the FPS is only 40 FPS, I think this is one of those situations in which you can put more details and more, how shall I say, more quality in this in order to benefit from the power of this video card, you know. You can actually see it's only 30% loaded, you know, the GPU. It looks fantastic even on low details. 40 FPS, I think there is a lock somewhere. And yeah, I think an overall performance is good, you know, because it's not stressing the system, it's not stressing the video card. It's got like 30% load on the CPU with under 70 degrees on the CPU, and that's okay. And only 600 megabytes of VRAM. Yeah, I'll take it. let's see how S.T.A.L.K.E.R is working. I'm on 1024 with maximum quality with static light. There is one that is full dynamic light, but it needs a powerful video card in order to do that. So maximum quality with 1024. Let's see how it's running, because this is going to be very interesting. So you can actually see it's 30, 40, 50 FPS. MS it's decent. By the light, you can actually tell that the quality is maximum. You know, so 1024, it feels that 1024, but it's got details, it's got character, you know. So in this situation, you can actually see the woods, the trees, everything is filled up with texture. I freaking love it. So under 70 degrees, core is how much? 70% loaded. So there is room for activity, just in case you're fighting and it's lagging, or special effects, or something that requires more power. You know, you can actually see it's dropping sometimes 40-50% load on the core. It's actually frankly brilliant. Games like this makes your hardware how should I say valid, you know. 223 megabytes of VRAM utilized. In this case, you can actually see that it's worth it, you know. The GPU is doing its job.
Just think about it, man.
I think this is the first GTX, if I'm not mistaken. It's good to have it as a trophy. It's good to have it as a collection. You know, if you're interested on building an old machine, it will be very interesting to say, you know what? I have a retro machine that is using the first GTX. It will be fantastic as how shall I say, bragging right. This is not compatible with new stuff, you know. Ideal would be only games like this, you know, to play them, to play them with a machine like this, you know. Even this CPU, it's an overkill, but regardless, on the CPU side, I think this GPU is still valid for all games. It's a fantastic options if you're interested on those retro games. Aside from that, I can recommend it. And on the price, it needs to be really cheap, because, you know, it's not new. 2005. Next year, this video card is going to be 20 years old. Just to think like that, you know, to have a functional one, it's insane, you know, to as a collecting item, because you'll say next year you're gonna say nearly 20 years old video card and I'm still playing games with it. It's freaking awesome, you know. It's freaking awesome. Regardless, I like the performance. I like this idea of retro games with old machines and old hardware. And yeah, I'm curious. What do you think about this? Leave a comment if you have any suggestions, and I will see you very soon.